Don in London, hello. It's November 29th, 2009. My video is all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. My addictive substance was alcohol, my behaviour, well, cross-addicted, I guess. Workaholic, relationshipaholic, any sort of old olic you can think of. And drinking 35 years, a long career. And I never knew just how much it affected my life. Ignorance is not bliss. Actually, ignorance when we find out the truth can be quite disheartening when we realise we've gone through the mill and all the rage comes out about what happened to my life and all those awful feelings of anger, frustration, denial. And then we start to actually get to understand that we were in a place of addiction, which is a disease. It's a disease which tells us we haven't got it, and then we proceed to ignore it, and we drink more and more and more, trying to get the old effect, and it never quite works the way it did. And I guess that's the same with anything that we become addicted to be the perfect drinker, the perfect worker, the perfect relationship person. You name it, we tried for perfection, and it didn't work. So these days I'm quite happy to make progress and keep in recovery one day at a time. And the reason why I always emphasise one day at a time, that's about the limit of a human's capacity to exercise good choices. And if we try to make it longer, we would start to run on self-will. And what I learned over the years now is that self-will will let me down. Humans don't function well on their own, and when we're trying to fight something alone, we find ourselves falling down more than standing up. But, you know, alcoholics are durable characters, and we still get up, and we still try again and again. So, I got a moment of clarity, thankfully because of friends, family, professionals, who kept me alive long enough to see I couldn't do it on my own anymore, and that I needed to be included in some way into society. And I found a way, or rather, there was a way there for me to find. So, professionals kept me going, family loved me enough and more, and I started to understand that life was possible again. And where did I get this information, or this way of living? Well, from those who had the experience, strength and hope to share it, and that happened to be in the fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous. And AA serves many people very well as a place to find a way into sobriety and stay there. But it's not for everyone, so there are other ways. Anyway, fellowship works for me, and as the anonymity bit as part of the fellowship, I believe it's important. It's the sanctuary to find the truth of who we are. So anonymity is of extreme priority. So I never speak for people in the fellowship because they're unique and authentic, and I never speak for AA because it's a fellowship of unique, authentic people. But I do share what works for me, and it's all around fellowship wisdom. So the gift is I'm in the fellowship. It stops me drinking, or it doesn't stop me, it gives me the choice to drink or not on a daily basis, and so far for a little while it's been to drink. No, it hasn't been to drink, it's to be sober and drink tea. So the fellowship has a preamble which is shared at the beginning of every meeting, or a statement of intent, and it goes like this. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And what the fellowship gives me is an action program to work on a daily basis, to live life, to experience life, and that's the 12 steps of action to change my attitude and behaviour in any given moment of today. And in this little card here, which I was just reading from, it has an inside the 12 steps and 12 traditions of AA, and 12 steps, 12 months. So November, all about the 11th step in my videos, and it reads, well, I won't read it from here actually, I'll read it from the 12 steps and 12 traditions, which is one of the books of AA, this one. Just the summary, because time is short, and it goes like this. So step 11: sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood him, praying only for the knowledge of his will for us and the power to carry that out. And you know, it took me a long time to understand what God could be in my life, or who is God, or what is God. Is it a practical measure? Is it something which it's just ethereal or ephemeral? Well, it would be ephemeral, it's just a day long. But you know, what is God? Well, it's not my understanding which is important, it's yours. But to share what mine is, God for me is truth. God works through people, God is love. So things I can understand, not some person sitting on a cloud with a harp. That would be an angel anyway, but you know, however we understand prayer and meditation, whether we believe in God or not, it has a place in our spiritual life. And whether we like it or not, we have a spiritual life. Because that's the nature of truth. And it goes on to say in the summary, meditation and prayer are main channels to a higher power, and I connect with good conscience, to truth, to the wisdom of others, and to love. Connection between self-examination and meditation and prayer, which is to look at how am I today, what may I do to improve life generally, not just for my life, but for everybody's life. An unshakable foundation for life, which is about inclusion and being a part of and not excluded. An individual adventure, yes, because we find our truth of now, and each person is on their own personal journey in their own personal space. First result is emotional balance, and that is balance of where we are today, the good of us, the bad of us, the things we do well and the things we're making progress on. Daily petitions for understanding God's will and grace to carry it out, which is for me finding the truth of now, and then decide, well, not merely me deciding, but looking how I may be in society, civilization. Actual results of prayer are beyond question. Rewards of meditation and prayer. It all seems to right-size me on a daily basis. That is, I'm no bigger, no smaller than anybody else. I don't have a better idea or worse idea. I certainly make some difficult decisions which may or may not help me, but I try and do it to the good of good conscience. So prayer and meditation, I always start with the Serenity Prayer in the morning, but I also start with step 1, which is I am powerless over alcohol, and if I drink, life will become unmanageable. And I'm also powerless over people, places and things, their attitudes and behaviour. So all I can do is improve my own attitude and behaviour, and stop judging others, or not get in their way, and let them get on with their lives. But you know, the whole point of this, prayer and meditation, is to calm us into living one day. And if we live one day, we've got a good chance that we will experience it. And in As Bill Sees It, this one, sort of congruent with the prayer meditation and living life as is. It says here, troubles of our own making, just the first paragraph, page 272. Selfishness, self-centeredness, that we think is the root of our troubles, driven by 100 forms of fear, self-delusion, self-seeking and self-pity. We step on the toes of our fellows, and they retaliate. Sometimes they hurt us, seemingly without provocation, but we invariably find that at some time in the past we have made decisions based on self, which later placed us in a position to be hurt. So these days what I try and do is keep away from self and self-obsession, and get to a place where I take account of others and the whole big picture of life. And what helps always for me is the Serenity Prayer, which is part of my daily meditation, no matter what is going on, right or wrong, good or bad, is to God, to the God of your understanding is important, not mine, but to God. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference is just for today.